T-shirt. Hey.
You think I'm kidding?
Oh, what? Oh, sorry.
My neighbor just complained about you making too much noise in her house.
Madison.
Hey, what's going on?
Can I please try again? Somebody got me kicked out. They called from the internet and have been complaining. They figured out which sober living I'm in, and they just.
Today is finally the day where I'll be talking about the most degenerate man on TikTok for a second time, Nick Harris. So a lot has happened in the past 6 months where I haven't talked about Nick, and unsurprisingly, none of the stuff I'm going to be talking about today is good, because this man can't seem to do one good thing for the life of him. The last time I talked about Nick, I said that he was in a sober living house with somebody that I didn't know. But I know who this man is now, and his name is Patrick Ridge. And ever since Patrick Ridge allowed Nick into his sober living home, there's been a lot more drama than usual. So much drama to the point where Nick would end up leaving Graceand, which is the sober living home, several times. Nick doing this is pretty much his version of throwing a temper tantrum because Patrick wouldn't let him use his phone at Graceland. Because Nick using his phone to livestream on TikTok and getting gifts, which equals money, means he can supply his addiction. And that's what Patrick Ridge is supposedly trying to stop. One of the times that Nick left Graceland or was kicked, I don't really know, he actually decided to try out a different sober living house. And surprisingly, he didn't make this public to everybody on his TikTok so they could just try and get him kicked out as soon as possible. People didn't really need to do this anyways, because not long into being at this sober house, Nick got a noise complaint from the neighbors.
Your build is impeccable, thank you. Where's Jimmy at, bro? For real. Yeah, you made your point. I know y'all like me better. Hey, yeah, don't let me come out the t-shirt, bro. Don't make me bust out the t-shirt, bro. Don't make me bust out the t-shirt. Hey.
You think I'm kidding?
Oh, what? Oh, sorry.
My neighbor just complained about you making too much noise in her house.
So I don't think Nick knows this, but whenever he talks at what he thinks is a normal level, it's actually way louder than he thinks, which is exactly what led to this noise complaint. This noise complaint had heavy contribution to Nick getting kicked out of this sober living home. And it's because where the noise complaint originated from and what he was talking about when he got the noise complaint. So obviously Nick is in a sober living home, which is for recovering addicts. And Nick, thinking he was talking at a normal level, was actually yelling about having a future relapse because he missed it. Obviously people are going to complain when they know there's recovering addicts in the same building that don't want to hear Nick screaming about drugs.
I might get enough sobriety under my belt to where I don't feel the need to do it in the future, you know what I mean? But I will. I'm be honest with you. I'm not saying I will. I'm not saying I won't. I miss it. I do miss it.
What?
It scratched the itch for me, man. It did. It scratched the itch for me enough. I was productive. I was healthy, eating food, doing everything I was doing. But just straight raw sobriety is hard. Raw sobriety is hard.
Yeah, so Nick basically just admitted that he needs drugs to function like a normal human being. If this is the way Nick is thinking, obviously the sober house wasn't really helping him. I'm sure they tried, but nothing gets through Nick's thick skull. But anyways, after getting kicked out... Okay, of course that truck drives by. That's cool. After getting kicked out, Nick went on live freaking out because he doesn't have anywhere to go. But the first thing he did was blame people in chat for calling to get him in trouble. Never once did it cross his mind that it was actually his fault that he got kicked out.
I ain't got nowhere to go. I've done nothing but respect. Y'all just don't understand how these people are, bro. Nah, bro. Somebody called and fucking complained. And now I don't have anywhere to go. I haven't done anything fucking wrong, bro. I haven't done anything wrong, bro. Madison,
Hey, what's going on?
can I please try again? Somebody got me kicked out. They called from the internet and have been complaining. They figured out which sober living I'm in, and he's an older man. Jose's on the other line. I guess he's trying to call through, but he's giving me my money back. He's giving me my money back, and I haven't done anything wrong. The only thing I've done is literally help them out in any way that I can since I've been here, and I paid my rent.
Nick would also post a short video on his TikTok explaining that he got kicked out of the sober living because somebody called and said a bunch of horrible things about him, when in reality, it was just him yelling about drugs, and they got tired of it, so they kicked him out.
They figured out what sober living I'm in. They figured out exactly which one that I'm in, and they called and they complained on me, and they said a bunch of horrible things about me, and now I'm getting kicked out of the sober living.
After getting kicked out of the sober living home is when Patrick Ridge would accept Nick Harris back into Graceland. Nick's reasoning for wanting to return to Graceland was pretty much just a big sob story about how he was sorry for running from his problems.
Hey Nick, so I'm downstairs with all of staff. I think to start off with this conversation, voice to us why you want to come back to the house.
I'm to be better in you guys' care, and I don't think I'm ready to have the exact freedom that I have right now. I want to have a community that I add value in, and I guess I was rushing it. I'm sorry that I wasn't willing to get through those hard moments, and I'm sorry that I ran from my problems, man. I'm willing to write all of the words that I have on the board, all of them.
In my eyes, this is just a big manipulation tactic to have a place to stay. 'Cause that's just how Nick is. Somehow only one person at Graceland seems to realize how manipulative Nick can be. And it's the girl he was just begging on the phone to come back to Graceland with. She also fully confirmed that it was Nick that got himself kicked out of his last sober living home and not a troll that called.
Yeah, I do agree that Nick's manipulative. 100%. I think that he's a liar and he's manipulative, and like he is the perfect candidate to be in a house that will like call him out on his shit. Like I called his sober living manager or owner, and I found out the real truth. Trolls didn't get him kicked out. Nick got himself kicked out, and he's got to be able to address that and like get honest with himself and like with everyone around.
Someone who doesn't seem to fully get how Nick is Patrick Ridge somehow, because he works with Nick the most out of anybody in Graceland. For some reason, Patrick said that what the owner of the sober living home did was messed up, but it's really not, because Nick was literally being a nuisance to everybody in the home. So there was definitely a valid reason to kick him out. There was also some terms set for Nick's return, and one of them was him not being allowed to use his phone again. You can probably guess where this is gonna go. But let's finish talking about his return first. And no better place to start than Nick's welcome back video, where Patrick explains how everyone deserves a second chance when Nick has had way more than that.
Back at Graceland, thank God. Not everyone wanted him to come back.
And the contrast between that day when he was here and then the next day when he was gone was pretty big.
Everyone in the house needs to learn to forgive.
And you can sit here and you can hate on him and say he's loud, he's this, he's that. How many chances were we given? Hell, I've been to treatment 20-something times.
Everyone deserves a second chance.
Whether you hate him or you love him, everyone deserves a second chance.
You know, we wouldn't have Blue, we wouldn't have Johnny.
When we're talking about letting people come back that relapse a lot, I'd be fucking dead if I wasn't back here. Remember when I came in and nobody rooted for me for 2 years? And then eventually I got sober, I got a little Pomeranian? That's what I'm talking about.
I got it here.
Look at Pat carrying somebody's luggage. Look at Pat carrying somebody's luggage. That's so great.
Patrick loves to claim that he knows so much about Nick compared to everybody else, but he hasn't been able to help him in any way that I've seen. And before Nick was fully accepted back into Graceland, Patrick decided to talk some sense into him. But the strange thing about this video is that it's sped up and you can't really tell what either of them are saying. And if you listen to what the audio is saying, it just doesn't match up with them at all. So I'm pretty sure what was being said in this video was recorded after they recorded them talking to each other. So it's not actually what they were saying. So I think they recorded new stuff to make it sound like he was saying some smart shit when he wasn't.
And you're passionate the way I am, and you're driven the way I am, and you're almost delusional. But if we're not equipped to run the whole marathon, we're going to burn out along the way and double back and have to keep. So we want to equip you so you can get through the whole thing.
It doesn't make sense for me to be at another facility besides Graceland because I don't know of any other facilities that understand the hate. Whoa, I'm not going to ask for my phone. I'm not going to talk about my phone.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do what you guys asked me to do.
After this massive reinstatement to Graceland, there wasn't a lot of updates, but Nick would obviously post and maybe go live here and there. But I think the reason why there wasn't so many updates is because not even a month in of being back at Graceland, he left again. According to Reddit, the reason he left might have been because a member of the sober house went and hung out with an ex-member of the sober house. I don't know what Nick's relationship was with this person, but I don't think he liked it, and he ended up leaving Graceland because of it. And after this is when Nick would start commenting on his own posts about having insider information about Graceland and Patrick. One of these comments is just stupid because it says, had to play the long game while they chased fame, chose to grow while they exposed their true colors. At what point did you decide to grow, Nick? You're still a roided out man baby. But in these other comments, he says that he has 6 months of insider information and that Patrick has a very long next few weeks ahead of him and a lot of explaining to do. These comments will be explained later in the video because it literally took him like 2 months to actually make the expose video of Graceland and Patrick Ridge, but we're not quite there yet. So back on the topic of him leaving Graceland, Nick for some reason would try and claim that he was still in California and pretty much still at the sober house. I don't know why he was doing this. Maybe he was trying to cover up where he was going next, but this didn't work anyway because Nick was on live with somebody and got the time in California wrong. So obviously he wasn't there anymore.
It's 2:22 p.m.
Guys,
if you want to get,
look
at that.
Send me on the East Coast. They keep on saying because your phone's showing your time, so you might be cooked.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Nobody's business where he's at, to be honest.
This is almost where another Nick homeless arc started. But after crashing out on Twitter because he left Graceland, saying he was seeking life-changing opportunities. Who can give me a place to stay so I can get back on track? I have little money saved. Maybe you're a property owner and have a studio downtown no one wants. I can happily pay for it. I just can't be homeless ever again. Who can rent? But then Nick says, considering going back to Greenville, South Carolina. Need a safe place with an older professional business exec type. I need to rebuild my life and image and I can't keep going place to place because of social media. Help me with stability and I'll grind and get what I want on my own. So this means Nick is going back to South Carolina. And guess who else is in South Carolina? M is. And yes, Nick definitely did stick to his words and moved back to South Carolina. And guess who was on his first live back there? Okay, I need to stop doing that. It was M. It was M. So what I can get from this live is that it seems Nick and M have a hotel together now. But the problems with this live start pretty much immediately and go all the way to the end of it, where Nick and M are tweaking, probably on something, about somebody that's going to find them or somebody that's following them. There's a bunch of heavy breathing going on and just a bunch of urgency for absolutely nothing.
I didn't hit live. Dude, I didn't hit live. I didn't hit live. I didn't hit live. I didn't hit. Hang on. They're gonna find us.
Who? Who?
Please hang on the phone. I didn't look.
Who is gonna find us?
Please hang on.
There is actually some backstory as to why M is on this live with Nick, and we know this because somebody who M has been staying with made a post on Reddit to clear up why she was there that day. To sum up the post, no, M hasn't been staying with Nick. She was only there that day to pick up money that he owed her. And when she was there, he locked her in a hotel room, acted like he wasn't gonna let her leave, and then slammed her hand in the door when she was trying to escape. And once Nick went live, he started to flip the narrative so it didn't look like he was trapping her inside of the hotel room. And according to this person, M is currently not on substances. I'm pretty sure this person would know the truth about that because M is staying with them. It's honestly good to hear that she's not. But I don't really know about M not being around Nick as much as this person says. Because to me, it looked like they were pretty much back together at this point. The reason I think this is because Nick would go live again and start complaining about all the issues him and M are having right now. And a big portion of this live is him complaining about M not letting him use his phone. I'm really starting to see a pattern of people not letting Nick use his phone because they know it's a massive issue.
What the fuck I've been through. Y'all know what's going on. When have y'all ever seen me go a month, 45 days without going live, posting a video, nothing, and I'm home? Come on, use your brain. Somebody was telling my ass not to use my phone. There had to have been a benefit of me not using my phone, right? Don't that make sense? Somebody had to have been telling me, be in this room, don't go live, don't post videos, don't talk about it. Well, it's over now. Over. So, I'm ready to move on with my life. And that person has been the only person that has been close to me and the person I come home to every night. It's been that way for 3 years. Okay? I can't get into another fight. I can't get into another argument. I can't do another emergency live stream to protect myself.
All ended up leading into M and N officially breaking up for probably like the 25th time. Let's be real.
So now it's time for me to move on. It's time for me to move on. I gotta go. Thousands of dollars, man.
Because of all these hardships that Nick was having with M, he decided to start applying to other sober houses. It sounds like some of these sober houses that he was applying to, he actually had already went to at one point. And because they know how Nick is, none of them were willing to let him back.
I'm probably gonna have to just let them pick what place. So here is a certificate of completion, Solutions Recovery Center in Greenville. They're telling me that they're not going to let me come try again, and they're not really giving me an official reason why. But I did complete the program, and I was there for 12 months. Me on the back of a box truck. People deserve second chances, man. I didn't relapse in any of these programs. I didn't do anything, man, I didn't do anything I wasn't supposed to do. Always paid my program fees. Always did everything.
Since none of these sober houses were willing to let Nick back, he actually resorted to going to try and get a job for once. He's tried this several times before, but nobody wants to hire him, and I wonder why. But this is Nick Harris, so of course he couldn't go to any of his job interviews without at least making a TikTok about it. Imagine if whoever was doing this interview saw him set up his phone and record a TikTok in the middle of an interview. It's definitely not a first good impression, and I don't know why he thinks he needs to record everything he does. And obviously this interview didn't really lead to anything because Nick still doesn't have a job. Since absolutely nothing seemed to be working out for Nick, he would resort to begging Patrick Ridge to unblock him on TikTok so they could be friends again. This man is literally so desperate just to have a place to stay when he's blew every single good chance he has at it. Also, I have no idea what he's doing with his jaw in this live, but it looks so dumb. Like, I don't know why he's doing that.
Patrick, unblock me on TikTok. I don't fucking hate you. I don't hate Graceland. I wanted to be a part of it so bad. Unblock me on TikTok, please. No, I'm not okay, Patrick. No. I'm not okay, and I miss you too, and I hate all of this. I'm not using.
What is he doing?
I wanted to be a part of the family. I was gonna succeed.
So obviously Patrick Ridge probably never even end up seeing this in the first place because he had Nick blocked, and obviously he's not willing to let Nick back there anytime soon. And man, oh man, did Nick not like this one bit. Patrick would eventually notice what Nick was doing and would go on live with him. And this is where Nick would just start to absolutely shit talk Patrick, and he would start to constantly brag about the views he gets, which honestly isn't a lot to be bragging about. So much for begging to go back, Nick, when you're just gonna sit there and do this.
Times the following that you do.
You probably paid for a lot of your followers.
It doesn't make any sense, bro. Why would
How
I?
do you have 1 million followers and you're not getting nearly the amount of engagement or views that I get? It's probably because you bought your followers, Pat.
I'm just like chill right now.
Paid for some followers.
My wife's not on the thing anymore. My kid's not on the thing anymore. And I'm just trying to be chill and not like.
How do we fix it? What's the resolution? What's the
resolution? A lot more time with my family.
You know what, Patrick?
I'm not live streaming.
Patrick, money is important to you. Money is meaningless to me. You said that you were helping me, and you said that you cared about me. And
how do we
right now, your only concern is about how much money you made because you're mad because I told people you made too much money.
I don't care.
No, because you made a video. You made a video screaming at the viewer because they were sending me money instead of you.
After Nick started this one-sided beef with Patrick Ridge, he would basically try to blackmail him. Again, something Nick has already done to multiple other people before, so this is nothing new. This time though, instead of doing it on live, Nick would actually post a video to his TikTok trying to expose Patrick. And I think Nick realized how dumb some of the stuff in this video that he was saying was, and he deleted it like almost immediately after posting it. But somehow somebody on Reddit ended up downloading the video before he fully got rid of it. And by the sounds of this video, $5,000 would really change Nick's life. Like, Like, it would really change Nick's life. Like, real.
Hey, Patrick Ridge. I've been really quiet for the past couple of weeks, but I can't sit by and just continue on. I have the real number, and I just want to say, man, $5,000 would change my life. Pat, $5,000 would change my life, probably for the rest of my life. As a person in early recovery, Patrick Ridge, I've never even had $5,000 at once in my entire life. I came to your program and I learned how to lose, bro. I learned how to lose and I didn't gain anything, bro. But a deeper understanding of what's waiting for me out here in this world, especially when it comes to social media, as far as predatory friendships and collaborations are concerned, bro. So you taught me everything that there is to know about a predatory collaboration.
This is where he basically tries to blackmail him.
All right. So I'm happy to just shut up about it. I'm happy to just totally be quiet. And hell, we could even go back to battling and all of the things. I'm willing to be a sellout right now because my life it sucks. And I'm poor, bro. And all I need is $5,000, bro. 5,000. Patrick Ridge. And we'll go back to being buddy-buddy, and I'll tell everybody that I had a great time at Graceland. And I would recommend that people go there and everything. So please consider that today.
Around the same time as this video is when Nick would promise to make an expose video about Graceland. I mentioned this in the video a while ago, and it's a follow-up to the comments that he made on his own posts about having insider information on Graceland and Patrick Ridge. The only thing Nick really exposed about Graceland in this video is that all of the money they made just went in their pockets, which you could probably tell from the beginning, because Patrick is also not a good person. But he also did say some stupid stuff, like they only brought him to the house so they could juice him for money because he goes live on TikTok and has somewhat of a decent following, but that's not really gonna make them as much money as they think. I'll just let Nick do the talking because it is his expose video of Graceland. He really doesn't expose them at all in this. I don't know what the point of making this 10 minutes long was, so I'm just gonna show you the better parts of it.
My name is Nicholas. Fuck it. My name's Nicholas Harris, and I'm from Greenville, South Carolina. And I'm a TikToker, and I'm an addict in recovery, and I'm a convicted felon, and I'm a transient person. That means I don't have a house. As a matter of fact, I don't have a car. As a matter of fact, I don't have a license.
We know, move on with it.
A lot of these material things that I lack would lead you to believe that I'm a degenerate, I'm a loser.
You are.
I'm not an adult. All kinds of terrible things. These truths about my circumstance are 100% my fault. I was being sold a dream, and so were you guys. The narrative is that Patrick Ridge and Madison and Graceland graciously opened up their home to me, and I couldn't follow the rules, and I decided to piss away another opportunity. That's what they want you guys to believe.
That's quite literally what you did, Nick.
He was garnering donations in the name of scholarships that he's not giving out to people, guys. In other words, let's say your son was a successful YouTuber and now he's getting a bunch of traction because of his own content, but maybe he's an alcoholic and he needs to quit drinking. Patrick Ridge is going to find out about your famous YouTuber son, and he's going to do anything and everything he possibly can to get your son's clout over to Graceland Ranch so Graceland Ranch can profit off of your son. They made over $50,000 on TikTok Live, gifts and donations. After 90 days of me being there and successfully doing everything that they asked of me, the lies started to come out. And eventually it just became too much for me to stand by and accept. I never wanted to be somebody's friend so fucking bad. Until I met people at Graceland. They made it seem like there was this exclusive fucking group of people, and they fucking worked so hard to change, and now they're all together in this amazing community and they're fucking helping people. That's what I wanted to be a part of. When all they're doing is rubbing elbows with anybody who's getting any kind of attention in the moment and acting like they're the person who deserves the attention. In other words, Patrick does this. Oh, Nick Harris is going viral? We need him over here at Graceland because we need to get as many donations off of the fact that he's going viral as possible. Oh, Check the Stars got 100,000 followers and millions of views. He needs to come over here so that way we can make a video so Graceland can get more donations because he's famous on TikTok. oh, Skinny Vinny with Jackass and all those guys, he's in the recovery community. We need to get him over here so we could live stream him so that way we can get any amount of attention and fucking donations that we possibly can in the name of helping people when actually it's just going in our pockets.
Sorry about that being so long, but he had to make a 10-minute expose video just yapping about mostly nothing. I'm not gonna say what Patrick actually did was acceptable in any way, because it definitely wasn't. But I genuinely don't know what Nick was expecting out of Graceland. In this situation, the manipulator got manipulated, and that's all there really is to say about it. Patrick is just a better manipulator than Nick, I guess. I don't know how sober living houses like Patrick Ridge's Graceland Ranch can stay open, because the stuff they're doing definitely is not good in any way. I really do not think they're helping most of their members. And sadly, I agree with some of the stuff that Nick is saying in that video, like how they get popular TikTokers at the time, specifically TikTokers that are in the need of rehab, and bringing them to Graceland Ranch just to bring their followers and their money over to Graceland. That honestly makes sense, and it sounds like something Patrick would do. But Nick is also a manipulator, so a lot of the stuff he's saying in this could obviously not be true. Even if all of the stuff he said in the video was true, Nick deserved what he got, let's be honest. Graceland Ranch will probably just end up being another sober house that Nick isn't allowed to go back to, since there's already so many that won't allow him back, and it's for obvious reasons. So Nick is also clearly a big issue when it comes to all of these sober living homes, if he's getting kicked out of basically all of them in his area. But anyways, that's basically everything I wanted to cover about Nick Harris. Despite this video being so long, there is some missing elements in this because I genuinely can't go any longer. I'm gonna be honest. But most of the stuff I covered is everything that has been happening within the last few months regarding Nick. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.
No DJ Khaled, but we the best. Them chops howling, where you a best? If I catch you, I walking you down.